through, so I finally got this side all dialed in. Now I'm fixing to go over here and do the other side. This side turned out extremely nice because I've got all your wood on here really straight in line with the level of the floor. It's oversized, so I'll have enough room to cut this down. It's actually almost, I mean, it's touching down through there, so I'll be able to whittle and cut all this down. I've set it where I have adjustment in or out, and what I'll do is make it where it just cuts off just beautifully. Yeah, it's good. It took a lot to get all these numbers, but really looks great, round, outstanding. So now I'm starting on the other side. I already know exactly what I'm going to do. This piece here, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it right there. Go ahead and cut it right there. I already know exactly how it needs to be cut and done. This piece here, I'm going to go ahead and cut it all the way down through there, prep that landing, get it ready to start shrinking. So this piece will go right in, this piece will go right in. I'll just work my way right to the front. It's going to be way easier taking numbers off that side and back onto this side. And keep in mind, I built that whole other side basically off of just two little numbers I had right there, and they were damaged a little bit. So this side ought to roll a lot quicker. I'm laying out this side of your car. I've got the rear panel just tacked in place. This panel tacked in place. I just put tacks on it about every inch apart, get the panels exactly straight, put just about a 1/16 of a gap in between them, and then once I get them all in place, I can shrink or expand that weld and manipulate that panel. So I get them all tacked in place down through here, and then I go in there and move that metal around and shape and mold it, and I can do one final last adjustment on it, and then weld that in place. But I've gotten all the way to right here with this panel, and then I've just got to put in this rocker panel. So now that I'm actually fitting this wood on, I've already went through that side over there, and then I started in on the wood on this side. Well, this front piece of wood, I just sent you the pictures of. It's almost a 1/2 inch shorter right there to there than it is right here to here. If I split that in half, that's just 1/4 of an inch. If I take off a little off of this one and might block this one a little bit, I might can make that where you can't see it. Now I've got to call into the lady that made this, send her a picture of it, so I'm waiting to hear back. Maybe she calls me back and tells me that this one was cut wrong and she's got another one or whatever, but regardless, this one is definitely narrower than that one by a 1/2 inch. It's not like on the other side. And then the bottom is about a 1/2 inch shorter than the one on the back. About the only way I can do that is take this run right here off that metal right there, and I could braze it up probably 1/8 of an inch, probably will never even see it, maybe a little bit more, then take a little bit off of that and split the differences on it and hopefully get it closer as well. It's going to be a lot of this to try to make a 1/2 inch disappear right here in the side of the car, but if I don't get any results from getting a new one, then that's what I'm going to do. But back to this, now I'm starting to fit it up in here. Since this one is off, I really need this door to be in its most premium location. The other one, I've kind of got my gray area, it all fits, and it's going to be good, and I can work it in. This one, I've got to get exact to know what I'm going to do right here, because that's going to dictate that bottom landing and finish up my metal work, and that's what I'm going for. But the metal part, it has to strike when the door closes to a certain depth for your door seal all the way around. And right now, with the door seal in it that you bought, I've checked it out. I need about 10 millimeters from the face of that to the outer surface of that, and that's going to collapse that seal pretty good. So that's what I'm doing now, is after doing all that latch work and resetting and moving, and I've actually done a little bit of tweaking on this pocket and moving the door to get it in the window to where when it shuts, the door seal shuts, and that metal's going to have to stay there. The wood out here, that's where I'm going to have to start moving it around, and like on the other side, I've got room to move it everywhere. Well, this one, the way it is going to dictate that I have to start off at my most sweet spot to be able to use as much material of this to match that, if that makes sense. So now that I've got that fit, now I'm going to start fitting this wood up there and then moving the wood to the metal. So, because I got my metal where it needs to be. And this is going to take a minute, but I think I'm working my way through it. I just hate that this was off. And hopefully she'll call and do something about it. But if, like I said, if not, I'm just going to hide it right in here, and I don't think you'll ever see it. I'm still waiting on the call back on what to do with this base. It's been a little bit. Apparently I'm not going to get a call back. I don't know. I may. Hopefully I do. Maybe they're probably just so busy they just ain't had time to get back to me. But I'm going to go ahead and move on around the vehicle. So I went all the way around that side, starting at the post, and I've got all your metal and all your wood pretty good, and I'm just wrapping it all the way around like wrapping vinyl and getting that outer surface of metal and wood in the right spot. And it gets me to right here. So now, I don't know if you remember, way on back in my videos at the beginning of this thing, when I was putting this front end on, I set this front end up with shims under the body mounts. And now that's really, really going to pay off, because I have, I think I have 2 shims on this side right now, because it was a gray area. I got it pretty close, but you don't really know until you really start dialing this stuff in at this point. So if I would have just made those mounts straight to the body mounts, there's no way I could go down with this. I could always go up, but I couldn't go down. So when that happens, like if I have a car that's already been built, I have to come in here and raise the cab up and work it out that way. Well, I've got all this Explorer sitting on its original mount, on its original frame, and it's just a sweet, beautiful spot down through there. So with me building those shim adjusters in the front, this side needs to go down just a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch or so. So they are going to pay off just unbelievable amount right now. So I've got that mount loose, fix put the jack under there, pull one of them out. Like I said, I got 2 of them in there, so I can go pretty good place with this right here and on the other side. And then I'll be getting this front end dialed in exactly to the right spot. Then I'll mark whatever shims I have in there and label them, and we'll go back together to be right on the money. Another big benefit to that is, as I work this out, work this fender location, get that in the right spot. Keep in mind your hood is damaged as well. Almost every measurable point that I normally use is bent or damaged in some way. So with this hood being damaged all the way across the back and on the front, and the front end was pushed in, I have no references for mid. If it would have been straight and square, I could have set it down and moved all this to it, but it isn't. So I'm just kind of back working those numbers into it. So now once I get this in place, this is going to tell me what the height of this one's going to be, and it'll tell me exactly what the height of that one's going to be, and then then I'll just work the hood down into that spot. So far so good. Just wanted to give you a little update on how great those shims going into those mounts are paying off right now. We've been back and forth on the phone talking about this wood and our next step with this wood, so it looks like I'm just going to have to go ahead and make this work. And I want to show you that this piece right here is the most ornery piece. On the other side, the 2 pieces line up pretty level and straight. And I need it to be that way. I need to put a gap down through here, but I need this wood to maintain a size. It's 2.5 inches on both pieces, and I can cut accordingly to make them uniform straight down, and that's what I'm shooting for. But this one is just ornery. I've compared it and did some cross measurements against the other side. Then I come over here and make sure all of our wood's right in the spot. Went ahead and did all the front end stuff and got the fenders straight. I've been taking measurements off the car for the front end because they're basically the same. That's been a big help. And the other side, I have a little bit extra meat in that wood to do everything I need to do. But this one right here is a little off compared to the other side. It's actually a little out of square. The top is a little forward of the bottom, and I can't move that without breaking it loose. That would be horrific. So what I've got to do is try to utilize what I have right here. So up here, this piece right here is about a 1/2 inch shorter than the other one, and that's going to show up ever so slightly, but I'm trying to make that go away. So what I'm trying to do is actually turn this piece on the door itself. And I've done that quite a bit, but I'm having to do it by cutting this back out and dropping this down and dropping this down. You can kind of see it's dropped down quite a bit right here, and I'm not going to be able to go much more, but I'm only going to go, if I can just get another 1/8 of an inch out of it, then I can block the top of these and think I can get that out. But I just want to show you what I'm dealing with right here. I put a piece of tape down through here to show you how this piece of wood is striking on your car. Now, let me open this door. If it don't stay, I may have to take this piece of wood off. No, it's going to go open. All right. Now, I hope you can see it in the camera. When this piece is on, it's this white line right down through here. So up here at the top, you can see it's almost touching, and down here at the bottom, it's quite a bit. It's probably 1/4 of an inch right there difference. So that means I would have to cut one of the two at a little bit of an angle, and I may do that as I go on, but it's not going to be much. So I'm going to take if I can get an 1/8 or 1/16 out of it there by dropping that, and then another 1/8 or 1/16 here, and another 1/16 here, and just keep moving. I think I can make it pretty much go away, other than this little bit of a height difference there, and then hopefully that'll go away. But I went ahead and moved my door pocket and my fender and all that, and I've got it in its ultimate spot. So I'm just going to have to chop and cut. Now I'm sitting there looking at it. I can see that wood coming off the end of that door, you know, where it runs. So yeah, this is going to be a little difficult, but just wanted to show that to you because I know we've been talking back and forth on the phone a lot about it. That's what I'm fighting. So I've got to turn this, move it forward just a little bit without lowering it too low to get it lower than this. Yeah, I hate this piece. It's so messed up. But let me keep working on it.